Breaking right now at 11, an historic vote decades in the making. The red line is officially set to become a reality. Thanks so much for joining us for the news at 11. I'm Vanessa Rufus.
And I'm Colin Mayfield. That's right. Less than 3 hours ago, Charlotte City Council voting to buy the tracks needed for the commuter train to northern communities. WCNC Charlotte's Julie Kay sat in on tonight's meeting. Of course, she's here in the studio live for us. Julie, this is a big move with a big price tag, too.
Yeah, a $91 million price tag to buy those tracks, and to pay for it and other projects like this, another vote to put a sales tax on your ballot. Only one council member voted against these plans, but that doesn't mean others don't acknowledge the flaws.
The red line gets a green light, years in the making.
Tonight's the night, right? It's a big moment for Charlotte.
One that didn't come without its speed bumps.
This plan is not perfect. However, it still is going to be able to strengthen the state of transit.
And one that still has crossroads ahead.
Rejecting this compromise legislation now, because of the possibility that the Silver Line to Matthews would not be rail, would very likely result in no new funding for transit.
Charlotte City Council voted Tuesday to pass two long-awaited proposals. One, to approve the acquisition of the O-Line ahead of Norfolk Southern's September 9th deadline.
Please raise your hands.
Two, a resolution to support a sales tax to pay for projects like this.
Nearly unanimous again.
That 1 cent tax nowhere near its destination.
The draft sales tax legislation is not perfect.
It still needs approval from the legislature before it even gets to the voters.
But we are getting what we need, which is something our state legislators can support.
Voters are already weighing in, nearly all at Tuesday's meeting in support.
It's led to those in our community without a car struggling to reach their job, grocery store, medical appointments, and more.
But council still acknowledging concerns, especially from Matthews and East Charlotte.
It would be disingenuous not to acknowledge that the funding that is available to us now makes it unlikely.
And concerns from Councilman Tariq Bokhari, the only one voting against them.
The thought of raising taxes in our current economy on the heels of just having raised taxes.
So council has passed two big stops on the way to their destination, but they might need time that they don't have.
And the idea that maybe there's still time to kind of change it or renegotiate it or do something, no.
To come up with a full transit plan, one that will get everyone,
Let the citizens of Charlotte decide,
on board.
If the legislature approves the sales tax, the earliest it could be on your ballot is November of next year. Colin, Vanessa, back to you.
All right, Julie, thanks so much.
Well, and Charlotte Mayor Vi Lyles, she said this in a statement tonight after the vote, saying, in part, quote, "This achievement is more than just a transportation milestone. It's about creating new opportunities, driving economic growth, and ensuring that every resident and visitor has access to public transit."
And this multi-million-dollar vote did not pop up overnight, as we alluded to. So let's take a look back. Ideas for the red line were first identified back in 1998. It was part of the 2025 Transit and Land Use Plan. Now, 4 years later, in 2002, the Metropolitan Transit Commission approved an investment study for the plan, and that was completed in 2008. In 2013, Norfolk Southern changed its passenger rail policy. Under that policy, the red line was not feasible on the O-Line. And in 2019, the MTC approved a new alternate for the corridor, establishing bus rapid transit while continuing the long-term vision for the red line. Now, funding to advance the red line commuter rail program was approved in September of 2022. Norfolk Southern approached the city of Charlotte last summer, saying the railroad was willing to consider a possible transaction, and then all that leading to tonight's vote. By the way, you can find our complete coverage of this topic right now inside the WCNC Charlotte mobile app.